Hello, my name is Tim, and I will be talking about how libp2p enabled me to build Kiwi News. Kiwi News is it's a website that I host on kiwinews.xyz. But before that, actually, I wanted to ask how you prefer to eat kiwis when you eat them. Do you eat them by cutting them through and like eating them with a spoon, or do you eat them completely unpeeled? So like I would like to hear the like show of hands of the direct biters.
Oh, direct biters.
Okay, and then the spooners. Oh, okay, it's actually like kind of 50-50, I guess. Yeah, so anyways, but what is Kiwi News? It's essentially a decentralized hacker news, and you can see the app on the left here. It looks and feels like hacker news. You can upvote and submit links. Comments haven't been launched yet, and the point here is to really make this usable for Web3 people, crypto people, and share like better texts and resources and so on. And I already and kind of the decentralized aspect of this is that basically all of the data that you can see on the website and so on is shared with this like set reconciliation algorithm that is essentially built on libp2p and libp2p-gossipsub. And I gave a much more detailed talk already at Zoo Social, where I talked like for 40 minutes about how we're implementing this set reconciliation algorithm and so on. And it's essentially inspired by also what Farcast is currently doing, and it's essentially like conceptually, I think the same thing. But it really started for me essentially when I went in the beginning of the year to ETH Denver, and I had pitched this accelerator called Zeitgeist, the idea of building a decentralized hacker news, because I couldn't like submit my blog posts to the actual hacker news because they would moderate my content and so on. And so they really liked that. But I went there, I pitched the thing, and we had like this 3 weeks time where we would we had time to build the thing, and then in New York we would all come together. There was a demo day, and I was supposed to like show something, and but I was like a solo developer, and I didn't really have any like experience in like working with peer-to-peer networks. But for me, I set out like to go there and have this challenge and like try to just make it work somehow. I knew how to deal with like what I had to do with like building a set reconciliation thing. But when I started working on this, it really dawned on me like that the peer-to-peer part itself is like actually really tricky. Like you have to deal with all these ports, weirdness in connections dropping or whatever. Yeah, as we also saw in the talks before, like net traversal, hole punching. How do you get from a bootstrap network that looks like a hub and spoke model to like a mesh that ends up being equally balanced or whatever? And all of these things really distracted me from my actual goal, which was I wanted to focus on the product. And at the same time, there was this like clock ticking of the 3 weeks of doing something, and I didn't have time to like look into this. And so essentially, I found libp2p-gossipsub from ChainSafe, which ends up being this like awesome library that I can just that I was just able to like plug in and basically use like the broadcast and subscribe functions essentially. And I also noticed that this is used basically by very big projects like I think the Ethereum staking algorithm uses it and so on. So this is also very reliable for me as a single person working on such a code base. And so what it enabled me to do is basically focus fully on the set reconciliation part that you can see like the schematic on the lower right side of the screen. And it also enabled me to actually have a working demo on that demo day in New York, and this also kind of like kickstarted the Kiwi News protocol as it is today. And so yeah, I think I just wanted to say that I'm really grateful for this project to exist, because I think it really enabled me to do something that I think, let's say like 2 years ago or so, or 3 years ago when this thing wasn't available yet, I would have literally not been able to do. And so quick plug. So Kiwi News is kiwinews.xyz, and we are bootstrapped, meaning there is no one funding us except for the people that buy our NFT. And so, I mean, feel free to check out the site and read some of the articles. And if you like what you're seeing there, when you buy the NFT, you also gain the functionality to upvote and submit articles, and that is like validated using the network, basically, where only your address basically can submit and upvote stuff if you have minted the NFT. That's all. Thank you.
Any questions? Yeah.
Thanks. I heard about your project in Farcaster, I guess. So the question is, the news is something that like should be available for a long time, right? Not just messages on gossipsub, which can disappear after some timeout, like from caches and so on. How do you solve this problem?
Yeah, so if you are familiar with how Farcaster works, it's exactly like that. And then the longer answer is that we use the gossipsub for nodes that are online to distribute the messages, and then for nodes that need to catch up, we implement basically a set reconciliation algorithm based on like a Merkle tree, essentially. So we use like the Ethereum.js tree library. And so basically you're going through, like this is what that talk was that I gave at Zoo Social, where basically we're going through, like we're comparing the tree from two nodes, and we're finding basically the leaf nodes that are differing between the two nodes. And,
yeah,
okay.
Cool. And do you encrypt leaves, hash leaves, or just like direct IDs used for leaves in this tree?
Not sure. Like basically, we just use like the Ethereum.
I guess you encrypt. Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think the question was already 1 minute before. I was interested where you store the messages.
Yeah.
They are all stored just on the peers, and then you replicate.
Yes. So
okay.
They are basically stored in LMDB. And the LMDB is basically managed by this like JS, this Ethereum tree library. So this is basically if you're familiar with the Ethereum Patricia tree, there's like prefix. I think it's like a prefix mixture of a prefix tree and a hash tree, and basically you are storing the path to the leaf node is essentially the hash. And so you're able to like very quickly resolve when you know the key of a value
And there's always somebody online from that perspective.
I mean, I'm trying. Yeah, there are not that many nodes, but
Very
yeah,
cool.
yeah. Run nodes, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Good stuff. Thank you for sharing.
Thanks.